Hey there. So today we are going to go over the basics of a restaurant's information tab and what you need to input in these fields in order to have that restaurant profile show up for the customers on your website. So first thing we need to do is once we're into admin backend, we're obviously going to navigate to the restaurant section. So from here, you're going to select a restaurant or add a restaurant. In this case, we're going to select an existing one and we're going to go over a couple of things. So, first and foremost, we're gonna go over the name and the alias. Name is what shows up on your actual website, while the alias is the one that's going to be shown on your dispatching screen where you receive the orders and send them to drivers. You also have to have a menu assigned to that restaurant profile in order for the restaurant to show up, as well as a location and a zone. So if you just leave a location, it's not going to show up until you give it a zone. So we're going to give it a main zone basically that's going to put it in a zip code basically that's available for delivery or takeout. Then we also have address. It is very important that you input the address correctly, as well as the city, state, and zip code, because if you don't do this properly, if it doesn't get picked up by Google, it is not going to, some customers might have issues finding this restaurant on your website. From here, we can also, or we should, input a phone number. You can also input takeout time, which is the average amount of time that the restaurant needs to prepare a takeout order, and then allow pickup after close, meaning how many minutes after the restaurant is closed a customer can pick up a takeout order. And obviously this is very specific use cases. We highly suggest you close the restaurants on your side of things at least 15 to 30 minutes before the actual restaurant closes, just so you can avoid any downtimes or any issues with the customers. Now from here we have an email address. You can input anything here basically. It is always best if you leave the manager's email or the owner's email in case you need it from this restaurant. And then we also have send which email to the restaurant. You can send them a restaurant copy, and this must be sent in order to restaurant to receive an order through DeliverLogic, like on a tablet. And then you can also send them a driver copy, which is going to be a much quicker breakdown, so it's not going to have all the information. Then you have fax number, and you can send stuff to fax, but we try to avoid using this as much as we can because it is obviously older technology. It still functions, but we highly suggest you either go through email or the best option is through DeliverLogic. Now from here, we have a separate email for takeouts, and then we have some Eatabit and Sprinter setups, which we don't need right now. Then we also have, we can skip this section right here, and then we go to the order placement method. Now this one is very important. So this is going to determine how the order is going to be placed once it's received by you as the delivery service. So you can call it in as a customer, call in as a partner, and priority calling as customer, priority calling as partner. This is if you're utilizing our dispatching services, but you can also use it internally so you know how to proceed with placing an order with a restaurant, because obviously you're not going to have one deal that's going to be the same and just copy and paste it to all the restaurant profiles. Now the driver call in and driver place in person are very specific use cases where a driver either has to obviously place it if it's like a fast food restaurant, or they need to call the order in because maybe the restaurant is super far away, or their prep times fluctuate too much, whatever it is the case. Now order status, we can also automatically set the status to confirm when placed by the customer, and we can do this only for ASAP orders. We suggest that you don't do this if you're a beginner, if it's your first couple of restaurants, just so you can get familiar with how the process works. We suggest you leave this off, but later on, if you're comfortable with it, you can leave it on. Now we have four fields that can be empty. These are not required to be filled out, but you can leave something about the restaurant and it tells you exactly where it shows up. So these are also options that you can fill in that are not mandatory, right? Then we have additional pickup notes if we need them. And then we have group ordering setting, which we're not going to touch on right now. And finally, we have our chain, cuisine, and meal type tags. As you can see, these are Colombian, Cuban, and Latin. And, you know, this is just a helpful thing. And we suggest you use this because it's going to help your customers choose without having too many choices. So if they know what they're in the mood for, they can go through a checkout process right away, and you lower the chances of them bouncing to another service or not ordering from you. And now at the bottom, we have a major settings that we have to discuss. So first we're going to mention is what this restaurant offers. Do they offer delivery or takeout? And then we also have catering only restaurant. Because of the way that catering works, and because most of the time you need to let catering restaurants know ahead of time what somebody's ordering, this has to be its own thing, its own restaurant profile. We're not going to go into it, but if you do need to do that, it always has to be the only option they offer. Now you can only offer takeout, only offer delivery, whatever it is, and then hide restaurant from customers. This needs to be checked off if you want the restaurant to show up on your website. And then you can also allow ASAP orders, and you can make this restaurant profile single embed only. This is in case you want to give a restaurant a link that they can use as their basically online ordering platform on their website. Now you can also use these as e-stores for a variety of different things, but if we're talking specifically about restaurants, offers delivery, offers takeout, hide restaurant from customers, and allow ASAP orders are going to be the best and most important options. So this is going to be a wrap up for the information tab, and this is all the info you will need to get a restaurant profile started. So in next video and in the next section, we are going to talk about hours, fees, limit orders, prep times, and all the other things. So make sure you take this quiz and make sure you watch the next video.